What's up, horror buffs and nostalgia lovers? Welcome to Tianshi Recaps. I'm your host, Tianshi, and before we dive in, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications to all so you never miss a spooky update. Today we've got a twisted tale that's sure to haunt your childhood memories. Popeye the Sailor Man. Our beloved spinach-loving sailor is back, but not as you remember him. He's traded in his anchor for terror and turned into Popeye the Slayer Man. Let's dive into the chills and thrills of this sinister transformation. The film kicks off on a chilling night at a canning factory, abandoned for 20 years. Outside, a terrified girl is pursued by two men. Desperate for safety, she slips into the factory and hides in the shadows. But they find her and attempt to assault her. Suddenly, a spinach can rolls across the floor, Popeye's iconic source of strength. In a flash, a massive hand grabs one of the men and kills him. The second man meets the same fate, his blood splattering onto the girl. As she looks up in horror, she sees Popeye transformed into a monstrous figure standing before her. The scene shifts to Dexter, a budding filmmaker preparing his camera and gear for a documentary about the abandoned factory and the mysterious figure rumored to lurk within. His team consists of Olivia, who subtly catches Dexter's eye, Lisa, his close friend, and the adventurous duo Zeth and Kathy. Determined to uncover whether the so-called mystery man is real or perhaps a ghostly presence, the group plans to head to the factory the next day, ready to unravel its eerie secrets. Meanwhile, a sales lady arrives at the factory to meet its owner Alistu, who plans to sell the property. She knows the factory was shut down 20 years ago due to contamination in the canned food it produced, rendering the entire site toxic. Locals whisper tales of a ghostly sailor haunting the premises. While discussing the factory's fate, the sales lady catches the distinct smell of pipe tobacco, Popeye's trademark scent. Alarmed, the owner heads off to investigate the mysterious smoker, leaving the sales lady alone and anxious. Suddenly, she senses someone approaching. Panicking, she throws her file only to realize it's just the security guard. Overwhelmed by fear, she leaves the file behind and flees the scene. Alistu instructs the security guard to find and remove the mysterious man rumored to have lived there for 20 years. As the guard searches the premises, he discovers a locked room. Forcing it open, he uncovers the bodies of the two men Popeye killed the night before. Shocked and panicked, the guard leaves the room but encounters Popeye standing ominously. In a desperate attempt to defend himself, the guard attacks, but Popeye swiftly kills him by smashing his head with a single powerful move. At the same time, Dexter and his team discuss their plans for exploring the factory, speculating about the ghostly sailor man lurking within. Nearby, an old man overhears their conversation and tries to convince them that the sailor is not a ghost but a real man, waiting for his lost love for 20 years. The group, however, dismisses his claims, assuming he is just drunk. Meanwhile, Joe, Kathy's abusive and rugged boyfriend, enters the scene. Despite the bruises on her hands, Kathy continues to love him. When Kathy reveals her plan to join Dexter and the team at the factory, Joe initially refuses, but eventually agrees. He warns Dexter to treat Kathy respectfully. That evening, Dexter and his team of 5 arrive at the factory. Olivia catches a glimpse of Popeye watching them through a window, but he vanishes before she can react. They enter the factory ready to explore. Meanwhile, Joe calls Kathy, but she ignores the call and silences her phone. Joe grows furious, especially as his friends fuel his anger by suggesting Kathy might be cheating on him. Enraged, Joe decides to head to the factory himself. Inside, the team splits up to cover more ground, leaving Kathy to monitor the cameras. Zeth and Lisa explore one area where they notice a spinach can rolling toward them. Dismissing it as an old relic from years ago, they move on, unaware that Popeye is lurking nearby, watching their every move. At the same time, the sales lady returns to retrieve the file she left behind. Nervously, she enters the factory and stumbles upon the security guard's lifeless body. Horrified, she screams and turns to flee, only to find Popeye standing right behind her. She runs for her life, trying to hide in a room, but before she can make it, Popeye grabs her by the hair. With terrifying force, he tears at her scalp, causing severe injuries, and drags her to a crusher machine. Without mercy, he kills her, leaving no trace of her escape. Unaware of the lurking dangers, Dexter and Olivia continue their exploration and stumble upon old factory documents. These reveal the grim truth about its abandonment 20 years ago. The factory was shut down due to contaminated spinach cans, caused by the owner's decision to cut costs by using cheap machinery and neglecting maintenance. The contamination impacted many lives, but to avoid imprisonment, the owner falsified records, claiming the business was unprofitable and closed the factory. As they uncover these details, Zeth and Lisa join them. Suddenly, the group catches the scent of pipe tobacco and follows it to a room. On the wall, ominous words are scrawled. If you smell pipe tobacco, Popeye is near. If you fear him, he will kill you. Taking precautions, they set up a camera to monitor the room for suspicious activity. Meanwhile, Kathy watches the camera feed closely. However, Popeye doesn't appear in the room, but surprises her instead. Overwhelmed by fear, Kathy flees, terrified by the monstrous figure looming over her. Terrified, Kathy bumps into Joe and frantically tells him that the sailor man is real and she has seen him. Joe, however, dismisses her claims, accusing her of making excuses because she was caught cheating. As they argue, Popeye appears. Joe and his friends mock Popeye's monstrous appearance, and one of them stabs a knife into Popeye's shoulder, but it has no effect. Popeye retaliates, killing the attacker instantly. In the chaos, Popeye breaks another friend's arm, causing him to flee in terror. Now left alone, Joe, overwhelmed with fear, also runs away, abandoning Kathy. Strangely, Popeye spares Kathy and instead follows Joe. The injured friend tries to escape in a car, but it won't move. Popeye is lifting the back of the vehicle. Popeye then chases him down and kills him. Inside the factory, Joe, now armed with a gun, searches for Popeye, determined to kill him. In the dim light, he sees a figure approaching and fires, only to realize too late that it's Kathy. As Kathy collapses, Popeye reappears. Joe, panicked, abandons Kathy once again, but Popeye finishes what Joe started. He killed Kathy. Lisa and Seth attempt to escape, but the door is locked. As Popeye begins to chase them, they run desperately, finding no way out. They spot a door in the roof, and Seth jumps to reach it. However, he slips and falls, landing on a rod that impales him, killing him instantly. His blood splashes onto Lisa, leaving her in a state of panic. Terrified yet determined, she tries the same roof door, but as Popeye approaches, she rushes in fear, slips, falls, and meets the same tragic fate as Seth. Now only Olivia and Dexter remain. While searching for an escape, they discover a hidden attic, which turns out to be Popeye's living space. Inside, they find a photograph of a man, Popeye in his normal form, and another of a woman with a child, who they realize is Popeye's wife, Olive. Their discovery deepens as they uncover a fragment of an old newspaper. It reveals that 20 years ago, Olive worked in this very factory and learned about the contamination scandal. She attempted to expose the truth, but mysteriously vanished. Popeye has remained in the factory ever since, searching for answers about what happened to his wife. The monstrous form of Popeye is finally understood. He isn't a ghost, but a man afflicted by decades of consuming contaminated spinach. He is a victim seeking justice for his wife. Armed with the horrifying truth, Olivia and Dexter prepare to leave the factory. On their way out, they stumble upon Seth and Lisa's lifeless bodies. They record everything: the bodies, the contamination, and even Popeye himself, determined to reveal it all to the world. As they approach an open door leading to freedom, Popeye appears and blocks their path. He grabs Dexter and begins to crush his hand with overwhelming strength. Before Popeye can tear it apart, Olivia screams at him to stop. To Dexter's shock, Popeye obeys her and releases him. However, with Popeye still in the way, Dexter suggests they stay in the factory until help arrives, fearing Popeye won't let them leave. Olivia, however, insists they must leave immediately as Dexter's hand is bleeding heavily and needs urgent medical attention. Her words spark suspicion in Dexter. He begins to question how Olivia managed to calm Popeye and why she seems so confident he won't harm them. The resemblance between Olivia and Olive, Popeye's wife, only deepens his doubts. Dexter begins to press Olivia with questions, asking if she has any prior connection to Popeye. Olivia avoids answering Dexter's questions and helps him outside the factory. As they near safety, Popeye blocks their path again. This time, in a shocking twist, Olivia asks, "Dad, did you forget me?" It is revealed that Olivia is Popeye's daughter, who would believe her father to be dead all these years. The realization that Popeye, though monstrous, is her father leaves Olivia stunned while Popeye momentarily calms down at her words. Suddenly, a gunshot is fired. It's Joe who shoots Popeye, reigniting his rage. Popeye furiously attacks Joe, but Olivia, desperate to prevent more violence, steps in to stop him. Joe seizes the opportunity, grabbing Olivia and threatening Popeye with a sharp piece of tin. Consumed by anger, Popeye's monstrous side takes over as he viciously attacks and kills Joe. Olivia pleads with her father to stop eating the contaminated spinach, that it's driving him mad. She begs him to leave the factory with her and Dexter to uncover the truth about her mother. But Popeye, overcome with grief and anger, refuses. In a rare moment of lucidity, he tells Olivia to leave and insists that she and Dexter escape. Once outside, Olivia and Dexter are relieved to find Kathy alive. Reflecting on everything, Olivia realizes Popeye only harms those responsible for the factory's wrongdoings and spares the innocent. Even Zeth and Lisa's deaths were accidental as they fell to their fates. Police and ambulances arrive, but as everything unfolds, Olivia glances back at the factory. Through a window, she sees Popeye watching her silently, just as he did before. With tears in her eyes, Olivia murmurs to herself, "I will come back for you, Dad." And the movie ends. Hope you guys had a blast diving into this spine-chilling tale. If you enjoyed the ride, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and set notifications to all so you'll never miss an update from Tianshi Recaps. Stay tuned for more thrilling movie journeys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care and see you soon. Bye.